Tony! Not a clue, Bobby replied. He only laughed when he heard Peter let out an exasperated groan. Welcome, Peter, Faraday said as he stepped into the elevator. What's the place to inform you that we're talking of a meeting with Miss Potts, and that he will meet you in the penthouse shortly. Oh, okay. Thanks, Faraday, Peter said as he leaned his back against the wall. He wasn't upset. He always knew that Tony was a busy man. Tony was no longer CEO of Stark Industries as he gave it to Pepper years ago, but it was still easy to forget that he was still needed for business matters. Then again, perhaps that was a good thing. The company used to belong to Tony's father. It only made sense. The thought of Howard Stark made Peter realise that Tony had never fully mentioned his father, except for one time before, and after the ferry incident 2 months ago. My dad never really supported me. I'm just trying to break that cycle of shame. God, you sound like my dad. What was Tony's relationship with his father like? From what Peter had heard, it wasn't that great. He was suddenly jolted out of his thoughts when the elevator dinged and the doors opened. Welcome to the penthouse, Peter, Friday announced, allowing Peter to walk off. Boss said for you to make yourself at home, and he will give you a tour as soon as he comes up. Wow, Peter said as he walked off the elevator and into the hall. This is the penthouse? Correct, Peter, Friday replied, not aware of the rhetorical question. Peter looked around, taking a quick view of the scanned penthouse. There was a kitchen and a large living area, and a hallway that went towards what Peter assumed to be the bedrooms. Not having Tony around somewhat made him feel a little awkward. Yes, he was a guest, but he didn't like the idea of being in Tony Stark's home without the man himself. With that in mind, Peter decided to simply sit on the couch and start to get some homework done while he waited for his mentor. So he took his backpack and duffel bag, placing them next to the couch, and then he took out his computer to work on an essay he had due next week before the break. It was then, out of the corner of his eye, that he saw a picture frame sitting on the end table. At first glance, he thought it was Pepper, but it was actually another woman, with hair pulled back in a tight bun, smiling as she played the piano. Curiosity got the better of him, as he slowly picked up the picture, studying the woman. It didn't take him long to see that it was Tony's mother, Maria Stark. Peter remembered hearing a lot about Howard Stark most of the time, and Tony's mother was talked about from time to time. The team couldn't help but notice the strong resemblance between Tony and his mother. What are you looking at? The whisper said. Peter screamed as he jolted, trying not to drop the picture of Tony's mother, and turned around to see Tony standing behind the couch, chuckling. I'm so sorry, Mr. Stark, Peter said, immediately standing up and putting the picture back on the table. I didn't mean to snoop. I was just... Good. Relax, Tony said, holding his hands up to calm him down. I was just messing with you. If I didn't want you to see it, I wouldn't have left it there. Peter widened his brown eyes and blushed. Oh, he simply replied, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Tony smiled and then looked at the picture. That's my mum, he said. She used to play the piano all the time back in the day. She even taught me how to play. Peter looked up at his mentor with widened eyes. You play piano? Used to. After taking over Stark Industries, I hadn't really had the chance to take up the skill. You played an instrument, right? I mean, you used to take band practice, right? Yeah, I did. Peter replied as he looked around the couch up to Tony. I used to play the piano too, and sometimes the clarinet. Wow, 2 instruments. You really are a genius. Peter smiled and blushed even more at Tony's compliment. Thanks, Mr. Stark, he said. Hey, why don't I give you the tour and show you to the guest room? Think about your stuff down and then tinker in the lab. Sounds great. He picked up his backpack and duffel bag. Okay, Tony said as he took Peter's duffel bag over his shoulder. So you've seen the living room and the kitchen. He led Peter down the hallway. Over here are the bathrooms. He pointed to one on the left side of the hallway. This one is mine, and... He then pointed to the door on the other side. This is the guest room. This is where you'll be sleeping. The billionaire opened the door